Isaiah 44:20, and it reads, this is I'm gonna start at 18. It says, they have not known, nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes that they cannot see, and their hearts that they cannot understand. And none considereth in his heart, neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire. Yeah, all on the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh and eaten it. Take the residue of this abomination. So let me make sure this is the one I want. But either way, you're not of these people. You see what I'm saying? Which would be the 2/3. Part of it, you know, I'm gonna explain more of it. Then I'm gonna go into what we actually gonna be dealing with. Okay, yeah, that's it. So Isaiah verse, but let me finish this one. I have roasted the flesh and eaten it, and shall I make the residue thereof an abomination? Heart have that he can nor say, is there not a lie in my right hand? So you that's not your situation. So you realize we have lies and pretty much given to us. You know, have got the 2/3 who don't realize that, which the scriptures talk about. Let me grab that real quick. 3, and I'm gonna start at matter of fact 2 and 9. 16, it says, you know, verse 17, because thou sayest, I am rich, and they're not hungering. If you think that pretty much the Father's looking at us and he's seeing as those that don't know, not even being fed. You see what I'm saying? And that would be the 2/3. So they're not even considering themselves hungry. Why? Because they that food they've been given, that fruit they have been given, that drink that they have been given, and really it consists of them. It influences them to follow their own. They're good and have need of nothing, as it says, because thou sayest, I am rich, and art wretched and poor and miserable, right? Because remember we just read, they don't, pretty much. It says, verse 18, Isaiah 44:18, they have not known nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes and their hearts that they cannot understand. It's really not even filling them. It's not even filling them. But they believe it is because their hearts closed to their minds. They don't even understand that. You see? So it says that he feedeth on ashes. That's nothing. You see? It's the residue of something, which is pretty much nothing. You see, if I blast you, you know, with a damn ray gun or something like that, and I leave you in the form of ashes, you are no more. You are nothing. I have, you're nothing anymore. Enough said. It says he feedeth on ashes. You see that? So that's what he's feeding on. Something that actually isn't in. A deceived heart hath turned him aside, that he cannot deliver his soul, nor say, is there not a lie in my right hand? They don't. What they have is good, and they have need of nothing. So as he says, they have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art red and blind. and naked. You see that? So you without everything. You don't know that. You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I got one more to go with that. Something I was going over last night. Forgot what that was. Grab that real quick. Isaiah 29. Salaki. Isaiah 29. And behold, he eateth, but he awaketh. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, it says, but he eat. Though. So it's these people, they're not actually asleep, because if you're sleepwalking, you're not actually sleep. You're walking. You see? So it's talking about somebody in the spirit. But anyway, it says, verse 8, it shall be even as when an hungry man, you see? Because this man truly hungry. See that? Behold, he eateth, but he waketh, and his soul is empty. You see? Or as when a thirsty man dreameth, and behold, he drinketh, and behold, he is faint, and his soul hath appetite. See that? So shall the multitude of all the nations be that fight against how everything that they actually feed to no avail is vanity. It's not actually helping. Only to awake up to, the reality of the matter, to realize you were true. It's written like that in Matthew 5 and 6. Blessed are they which do hunger, you see, after righteousness. See that? Because that's why Yahweh Shai said in verse 4, behold, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. You see? Mobu, or whatever these dang places called, Mr. Childs, all these different places, only not have what's eating away at their soul filled. You see? And that's, what the hell is going on, who they are, and more. So that's why I say, blessed are they which do hunger. Not this flesh, this carnal stuff, for they shall be filled. Now I can go into this. This is, so you're not of those people. So you realize everything we've been given is a lie, can't fulfill us, we can't live off bread alone. Doing as thou wilt is not getting it done. We go to this fancy restaurant, but I get sick every time. You see, should I even be eating this? So that's why you've been blessed, because you think on it. I need to just find the right way, which is declared through this book. You see, through his teachers, the men he set up. It's probably, this is Isaiah 119, and it's that 128, 119 and 128. Thy precepts concerning all things to be right. I hate every false way. So this word, you see these precepts, these link ups, which will be to things that were written of aforetime. You see what I'm saying? Precepts as well. You see, these are all concerning things. What's right? What's the way to go? All right. And I got one more to go into real quick. That Isaiah, it might be Jeremiah 45. In the 45th chapter, the 19th verse. It says, I'm going to start at verse 18. It says, for thus Great. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 17. It says, let me start at 16. They shall be ashamed. All of them, they shall go to confusion together that are makers of idols, which the Lord said, because you have trusted in the shadow of Egypt. Let me grab that real quick. He said it's gonna be your shame. It's gonna be the same. I'm gonna start at 1. Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me. See, that's their heart, because they're fools. It says, but not of me, and that take it, and that cover what they covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth. You see, because he set up men to instruct. But anyway, it says, with his instructions, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength, see that, and the trust of the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Now let's go ahead and go back here. This is Isaiah 45:19. 16. They shall be ashamed. That's the 2/3. That don't consider they have a lie in their right hand. You see what I'm saying? Everybody that don't consider they have a lie in their right hand. You see what I'm saying? That's not seeking after the Lord. You see, wholeheartedly to quench that thirst, to fill. But yet you would rather lean onto other things or your own mind, which is what pretty much the so-called white man gave you. Do as thou wilt. That's going to be your shame and your confusion. You see what I'm saying? You're basically going to starve to death. That's how you see what I'm saying? You see, it tell you that in Proverbs, the first chapter. They're going to eat the fruit of their, because it's pretty much by the Spirit. So, how about smell shot? Can't even say nothing else. You know, it's by the Spirit. Because I'm trying to explain the concept as we, we quenching as it goes. But anyway, this is Proverbs, Lord willing. This is Proverbs 1, and it says, let me see. Now I'm gonna just get to the point. It says, verse 31. Matter of fact, 29. For they hated for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They were none of my counsel, because they were their counsel. They despised all my reproof. You see what the Lord criticism. You see what I'm saying? To make better. You see, it says, therefore, the fruit of their own way, which is what the so-called white man gave you, going back to defy the Lord. See that? And everything you lean on is misery. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9 and 13. It says, for what man of God? You see, because the Lord deal with gods, man. He don't deal with simps. You see? And daughters of gods. It says, for what of God, the Most High, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Shah, or who can think what the will of the Lord is? You see, those who the Lord is dealing with, that's seeking after the righteousness and thirsting after righteousness. That's who. You Israelites that's doing that. Listen, for the thoughts of mortal, for the thoughts of. That's why it says in Proverbs. Jump here real quick. It's 28 and 26. He that trusted in his own. Let me start at 20. Hit this and then jump to 25. He that trusted in his own heart is a fool. Because you just heard that your thoughts are miserable, man. As a man. Fill it with life. This is a fool. But whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. This is verse 25, because they're proud. Stirreth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in the Lord, you see, he don't trust in his own mind. See that? Shall be made fat. See real quick. They despise all my reproof of their own. It says, and be filled with their own devices. See, take this up. Going back to the Matthew 5. Which do hunger after and thirst after. Blessed if you're hungering and thirsting after righteousness, because you pretty much you want to get the hell away from your own way. Man's thought. But anyway, 16. They shall all be ashamed and also confounded, all of them. They shall go to confusion of idols. You see, because you pretty much idolizing yourself and whatever that's what you're gonna continue to eat of. So that's how you're gonna be nourished, which is you actually being malnourished. See that? Which is gonna just result in you being destroyed. You seek out to do. It says, verse 17, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. You see? Only those that are, matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. Let me grab both of these, actually. So I can stick with the point. Romans 9 and 6. Not as though which are of Israel. See that? Verse 27. It says, you know what? Let me just get the next one. Then I'll come back there. This is Zechariah 13. Be saved. But the rest of the ones, because those are those that would be hungering and thirsting after righteousness. You see what I'm saying? On water and stuff anymore. You see what I'm saying? This is Zechariah in the 13th chapter. And 8, we'll start at. It says, and it shall come to pass that two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So 2/3 of Israel gonna be, pretty much done off. But he gonna keep the, a remnant. There are people who not even considered Israelites right now. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire. Why? Because the other third and will refine them as silver is refined. Why? Because they were none of the Lord's reproof. Therefore they shall eat they want to be black, they want to be Mexican, they want to be all these different things, man. Ball players and, say what the scriptures say, when I actually deal with them or read them. They want to be the third part through the fire because they are the opposite of the righteousness. Refine them as silver is refined. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord is my God. You see? Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah is my power. Nothing else. They're going to wholeheartedly lean on this. Thus, they're going to be considered Israel. Be able to see that clearly. So going back here, this is Isaiah 46 and 16. They shall be ashamed. All of them. they shall go to confusion, the 2/3. You see, together that are maker and after thirst, hungering after righteousness and thirsting after it. But Israel, that considered that they had a lie in their right hand, man. You see, the Lord allowed that to be the case for you, really. It says, but Israel, with everlasting salvation, ye shall